It was a crucial win for the Lady Vols today, especially when you look ahead to the NCAA tournament and you start to consider seeding, needing to be a top 16 team to take advantage of the home playoff games. A win over Ole Miss helped to give them a little bit of a sigh of relief that they got a win that they needed to. They're next to each other in the net ranking, so it definitely helps bolster the Lady Vols case when it gets to postseason action and seeding. They get the 80-71 win over Ole Miss. The three takeaways and things you need to remember from this SEC win for the Lady Vols. To start, Jewel Spear is essentially automatic from anywhere on the field. She had 5 triples on the game, which is the 5th time this season she's had 5 or more triples en route to a 28-point performance. The 4th time she's had 20 or more points. And a lot of the times too, it came where the Lady Vols were struggling to find a basket, or they needed someone to help extend a little bit of a run, helping them at one point get to that 17-point lead. And when Ole Miss got their way back in, Jewel Spear helped get them back to a 10-plus point lead. And it's really nice having a player like Jewel Spear, as Samara Spencer said after the game, because it does give you that sigh of relief when you're struggling to find a basket and you have, an automatic shooter kind of like Jewel Spear somewhere out on the field for you. And maybe beyond what's impressive with what she did at the 3-point line is what she did from the field. She was 9 of 11. That's her second best mark on the season from the field. She had 11 against Oklahoma, and I also believe 6 3-pointers against Oklahoma earlier this season as well. This time, it's ending in a win for the Lady Vols, and Coach Yo for Ole Miss says, oh, she is as consistent as it gets. She dropped 30 on us a year ago, 28 today, and she's like, we were expecting that to happen. And then she's like, wait, well, the way that we are guarding her and letting her play, it's almost like we didn't know she was going to be this consistent type player. And of course, Jewel Spear just continues to credit her teammates like Cooper and Samara getting downhill fast so that they then have to guard them, which allows her to take advantage of maybe an open look. But then you kind of look to where the team was struggling a little bit. The second takeaway is the rebounding and the turnovers. 2 things that you're like, Paige, you talk about this all the time. And it sometimes will be the difference maker in games. Here tonight, it wasn't. Despite the 20 turnovers, Ole Miss only got 4 points off of it. Tennessee, they were able to get 24 points off of the 19 or so turnovers that they forced against Ole Miss. And Kim Caldwell after game 2, it's funny, she's like, we could have 200 turnovers. I do not care as long as we don't let them score. And how does that happen? Well, it's them hustling on the other end. It's the effort plays that Kim Caldwell talks about all the time. And they saw that tonight. And part of that too was a game plan that Coach Yo had for Ole Miss, where she didn't want these fast break points. Instead, she wanted to try and drain the clock out because they've had 3 games in 6 days, so they were tired. She says if they rematch again, which she'd be happy to do that, if you look to the SEC tournament and so forth, they might try to have fast break points or do a better job of converting for points versus just trying to drain the clock. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of translates once, the season continues to progress and gets in the SEC. Our third point, foul trouble. That, I think, made this game feel incredibly long. All of the reviews, I just felt like this game was never going to end for a little while. And I'm sure you guys at home probably thought that too. But Coach Yo, she's like, I really needed the breaks. That gave us a moment to catch our breath. And then Coach Kim's like, I hate when we have breaks because I don't want the other team to get rest. And a lot of this was because this matchup was always physical. It's always intense. It's always emotional. We saw that here today, especially when, Z Spearman and 24 for Ole Miss, kind of were drawn a little bit. And then they both get to go to the free throw line. Jewel Spear goes in for Z Spearman on that charity stripe. And Samara Spencer after the game said, we maybe could have been a little bit better in a game where the whistle was really tight. There was 37 fouls. I think Ole Miss got to the line 24 times. Let me check the handy stat line. Yeah, they essentially got to the line. They made 17 of 24. So there were a lot of whistles being called in this game. It's just about being able to adjust, keeping your wits about you, your composure. And they credit Jewel Spear a lot for keeping the team mild-tempered in this game, but just finding a way to play a a bit more clean, especially in the post when you're trying to set blocks and making sure your feet are in the right spot. But yeah, it's certainly a tough game to manage when there are so many fouls called early and often, and then late in the game as well. But it's a crucial win for the Lady Vols. Jules Spear, her 28-point performance was just incredible. Sees Bierman continues to, answer the bell for the Lady Vols, and you can just see she's just playing with a new sense of attitude here in the backstretch. But we'll be back later this week to talk all things Lady Vols and Vols. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later this week.